There was a time there where I was wondering if we were going to actually get to practice and play games and talk about basketball. So I'm glad to do this. Let me just start off saying the girls are working hard. Practice is going well. At this point, Sherry Porter has, for concerns about the virus, has decided to opt out. So she is completing her degree at home, staying with her family, and for family reasons, Raneem is still with her family in Alexandria, Egypt, at this time. So we're still wishing them both the best. They're still part of the team, and wishing the best for Raneem and her family, and hopefully at some point in the future she'll be able to rejoin the team.
Hey, Coach, this is Jared McDonald with the Daily News. With Raneem, do you expect her to rejoin the team this season?
I'm hopeful, but for family reasons, right now she's not able to. And so at this point, we're excited about the players that are here. They're working hard. They're getting ready to play the season, and that's our focus. We're still supporting Raneem, just like we are Sherry, in finishing her academic goals. And so at this point, wish her the best where she is, and continued health. And then we're working hard with the team and the girls that are here.
Coach, this is Nick Geezer with the College Heights Herald. My question for you this morning is, so with practice so far and what you've been able to see, what have you liked so far in your preparation? Do you like where you are right before this season starts?
Nick, thanks. That's a great question, and we're excited about the young players that are here. I think that's the key thing is we're really young, and we graduated a lot of experience, and not just scoring and rebounding, but without Raneem, we have a lot of experience that we're lacking. But the real positive is, and what you'll see in this team is they play hard, and they play hard together. The team chemistry is at an all-time high. This group of girls works hard together. They hang out together. They do everything together, and that's a real positive. That's going to show up at some point in wins. Initially, I think there's still some learning curves that we're going to have to work our way through. But right now, the team chemistry is really positive. The work ethic is strong. I'm really encouraged about their effort on both ends of the floor, especially on the defensive end.
Coach, it's Jeff Leitzer from WBKO. Like you said, you graduated a lot of experience and a lot of great players, Dee and Whitney, and now Raneem is back at home. So who can we expect to kind of take on a leadership role or kind of take over as the top player or someone to lead this team during the season if, say, Raneem isn't able to return?
Well, I think some of that answer, Jeff, is the same as it's always been. The strength of the team is a team, and that doesn't change. And the team is the most important part of it. And while those players that graduated were really important, there were players before them that were really important. And so I think we still have some opportunities for young ladies to step up and take on leadership roles. And we've had some do that in practice. Mariah Haywood has done that on a daily basis. I think Fatou Poy is doing that. Perhaps the strongest energy leader is no surprise, and that's Miru Abdelgawad. And so every day she just plays hard in every possession, whether it's a drill or a scrimmage. She plays really hard. So she leads this team with effort and energy. And then we've got some freshmen that are really competitive as well, and they're all kind of feeling their way. But that doesn't change. It hasn't changed from when Ivy Brown and Tasia Brown graduated, when Kendall Nova and Micah Jones graduated. It doesn't change when Whitney Creech and Dee Givens graduates, and Lexus Brewer and Sandra Skinner graduate. The strength of this team is still the team. And right now it's a young team, but I don't think you'll see any difference in that type of atmosphere.
Coach, this is Nick again, and I just was curious, when you guys first got back to the arena and you could practice, how did that feel for you seeing your team back out there on the court? And, how has the health of the team been since you guys have all been back?
The team's healthy right now. We're working really hard together. They really have taken a great responsibility, making sure we're doing plenty of this, wearing our mask, keeping our hands clean, social distancing, all those things. We're really thankful. We're really grateful that we're able to do this. Thankful to our athletic director, Todd Stewart, but also to all the athletic trainers, Mike Getty and Mike Bowdy, that have really made sure that we keep this place safe as it can be and keep everybody practicing and playing. The girls have adjusted. When we first got back, we were in small groups, making sure we were not sharing basketballs. We've kind of gotten to the point now where we're wearing masks, watching our hands, but we're able to practice and play some 3-on-3 and 5-on-5, which is good, because when we started out, we were having to be really creative in how we were doing our workouts because we weren't able to do those things. So it looks more and more like basketball every day, more and more like regular practice. That's a positive. That's also a caution. You have to make sure that you're not letting your guard down, and make sure that you still observe all those protocols that we need to make sure we're safe and continue to get to practice and improve. So right now, I couldn't be happier with our work ethic. There's a lot of things. That's why we have practice. There's a lot of things we got to get better at doing, and we'll keep working at those things.
Hey, Coach, this is Jared MacDonald with the Daily News. Like you said, a young team. It seems like every time we've talked since the Conference USA tournament, you've added another player. Who do you see out of that group being able to come in and make an immediate impact, and what do they bring to the table?
Well, I don't think it's any surprise that Allie Collette was one of the best players in the state of Kentucky, and so we're expecting Allie to be a good player. But she's a young player like the rest of them. She's still learning each and every day. And we were working this morning. We work out at 6 o'clock, and we're working this morning, and she was still working on something that she's never done before. And so there's still a learning curve even for the good players. And we've got a great post player in Selma Kulo, and so she's going to be another impactful player, I believe. And then we've got some other young players that are all competing hard each day. And I think just the nature of being a young player, you can have really high highs and you can have really low lows. And so it might be an up and down year for a lot of those players, but we're going to keep working together and keep getting better each day. I really expect by the end of the season, like all the teams, they'll be a lot better at the end of the season than we are at the beginning.
Coach, this is Nick with the Herald again, and I was just curious. The men's team announced, Rick talked about yesterday having bubble play. So what's that looking like for you as far as schedule goes? I just was curious if you guys are going to do something similar to them, and what y'all's season is going to look like prior to the spring semester.
A lot of our non-conference schedules stayed in place. We've adjusted some, and just like a lot of people, some of our MTE, multi-team events, bubble type settings, those things were very fluid, and so we're still working on that. But a lot of that protocol in place where you're not able to play multiple teams if you're not in a bubble, that doesn't really afford you opportunity to test in between games. So we're about to finish up the schedule. I expect it to be finished soon. I thought it was finished several times, and so we have to keep working at it, but we're about to wrap it up, and we'll have it ready for everybody soon.
Coach Jared MacDonald with the Daily News here to kind of go off of that. Conference USA is moving to a new format this year to try to limit travel. What are your thoughts on the new Conference USA format?
I think it's the best format we can have to keep everybody healthy as we can and play games. Is it an ideal format? Is it what we would want? Probably not. But I don't believe that there's a better solution. I think it's the best way to make sure we have games. We put ourselves in a position to compete for a conference championship and get to the conference tournament, and we don't end up with several teams not getting to play very many games or getting shut down.
Aaron Johnson, WNKY 40 TV. Coach, from your vantage point, what are some of the biggest challenges in going from a senior-laden, experienced team that you had last year to 6 months later going to an inexperienced team with 6 true freshmen and now without Raneem and Cherry, at least for the beginning of the season?
The challenge really, I believe, is making sure that you don't try to move too fast as a coach. Make sure that they're learning at their pace and you're moving forward, and don't get overly concerned about what you can't do. Stay focused on what you can do. And so we're working really diligently at that. I think the players have a great approach to it. They're working hard every day. Like I said, the team chemistry is really positive. And so those are all really good signs. And we'll just keep working and teaching each day, and it'll pay off.
Hey, Coach Jared MacDonald with the Daily News here to kind of go off my last question about a large incoming class. Recruiting-wise, since March, what's it been like? Talking to Rick yesterday, he said it probably hurt a little bit not being able to have kids at Diddle and all that kind of stuff. But I guess what's it been like for you?
It's been challenging from the standpoint of, I always have taken great pride in evaluating players in person. And so when you're watching stream games or videos, sometimes even something that seems as simple as size isn't as obvious. And so then there's the other layers of, you can't see the intangibles. Sometimes you can't see if a player has great confidence or if they're intimidated, or if you can't even see how they interact with their coach or the other players unless it happens to be right in front of the camera. And so there's a lot of those little intangible things that are important for building a team. And now we're basing a lot of that on trying to do more leg work, more background work. But there's still a lot of uncertainty in that. And I'm really happy about the players that we have here. I'm happy about the players that we're getting ready to sign. And I think that we've done as good of a job as we possibly could given those circumstances. I think a lot of it fell back upon prior relationships, making sure you're talking to people that you trust, people that you know, people that value the same values that you have and like to build teams the way we want to build them. And so it's been very different. I tell you, one of the positives, it's nice to be able to pop that computer on, watch a game in Indianapolis, then flip over and watch a game maybe in Chicago, and then still be home with the kids and Ray at the end of the day. So that's a positive, not being in a hotel or an airport all the time.
Coach Jared McDonald with the Daily News. I know you guys are probably focused on the season ahead, but looking back on one of the players from last year, Whitney Creech, she's starting her coaching career at Bowling Green. I was talking to Coach Head the other day, texting him, and he said, we're excited. She has been great already. You know, I think back to last year in the press conferences, if we just had the transcript, I probably wouldn't be able to tell whether it was you or her, just the way that she talks and her mind works. You know, what is it about her that you think will make her such a great coach?
She loves basketball. She loves the game. She loves to teach and she loves to learn. And she's a rock solid competitor. But she's also, most importantly, she really cares about people. And so I think that'll make her a great teacher. And if you're going to be a great coach, you got to be a great teacher first. And I think that's what Whitney is. And so there's no doubt that she's going to really help Bowling Green, help all those young ladies. And it doesn't surprise me at all that she's really impacted their program already.
Coach, this is Nick again. Just out of curiosity, you know, we hadn't really spoken in a long time, but what have you been doing to kind of stay, you know, active and stuff during the pandemic? You know, we asked Rick about him watching like Netflix shows and stuff. Just what have you been up to?
I have worked more hours on basketball than maybe my entire life. And so I was at home for about a week, and then it was, you know, you make plans and then you got to change them. And you make new plans and you got to change them. And then helping all the young ladies to work through their different situations, you know, from Raneem to Merrill and Sherry. We've had a number of young ladies to go through things, and then recruiting via watching streamed games and videos. And so it's been very busy. And then planning what our workout's going to look like when we get back, and what's our protocol going to be for their living arrangements. That had changed back and forth. And so there was I thought that when we had the shutdown, I thought I was going to get some fishing in. That didn't happen. And so the positive, we got to spend some time at home. We got to play a little more baseball and kickball and basketball in the backyard in the driveway. But there's still been a lot of hours just working on everything from scheduling to recruiting and planning workouts and getting ready for a young team. The other thing I spend a lot of time doing is about twice a week I'm on the phone with Dee Givens, and she's playing overseas in Spain, and I swear I feel like I'm still coaching her every day because I have to call her and fuss at her. They played. I'll tell you a story. They played a game Saturday, and so I was watching it on my phone, and the team they played ran several pick and rolls in the first half, Dee's team ran several pick and rolls, and the other team defended the same way. So I'm calling Dee after and just chewing her tail out about not adjusting and how the defense was playing. They played it the same way. You didn't get one good shot. You didn't get any plays. I said that's not the coach's fault. How many pick and rolls have you seen in your life? 4 million, and so you made no adjustment. So she still gets fussed at pretty much on at least weekly, if not every other week. So and then through 4 games, she had only attempted 9 free throws. So I got on her tail. You're the all-time leading free throw percentage shooter at Western Kentucky, and you've in 4 games you shot 9 free throws. So why are you being so soft? She went to Europe and got soft or something. So, but I'm proud of her. She's really learning and growing as a professional player. It's just like a freshman, it's up and down for her, but she's going to be a really good professional. She's finding her way, and I'm proud of what she's doing.
Coach, this is Nick. That was a really great point that we didn't even get to ask, but still, that's awesome. So I guess just to build off of that, when you heard that she was going to go to Europe and go play, how did that, I mean, you kind of just shed some light on it, but how did you feel about her going over there, signing that contract? I know that we read the press release about it, but seeing her go pro, what did that mean to you when she took that role.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. I wasn't surprised that. I mean, she's a professional level player. We were hopeful that she might have gotten drafted. She's about the 19th or 20th player that I've had that's gone on to play professional ball. Off the top of my head, I think maybe one, but maybe zero were high school All-Americans. And so all of that's been a lot of hard work and player development, a lot of drive by each of those young ladies. And Dee's like those other young ladies that want to play at a high level. She's still not at the top of her game. She's still got room to grow, and her best basketball is still ahead of her. And we talk about that all the time. We talked about that before the draft happened. Not to get caught up in whether you do or don't get drafted, whether you get put on this team in Europe or that team, whether you win or you lose, whether you leading scorer or not, to really focus on your craft each and every day, get in the gym. And that's what we talk about. One time I couldn't get the game, so all I could get was the highlights. The game, I was trying to load it. It kept freezing and I couldn't watch it. And so I got the highlights. And the very first highlight was Dee getting beat off the dribble for a layup. So I called her. I didn't watch another highlight. I called her and chewed her tail out because all we had talked about was getting low, keeping your feet wide, staying in front of the ball. And I said, "You're the first highlight." And she kept saying, "I swear, Coach, I did better. I swear I did better." I said, "You're the first highlight. I didn't watch any more." And so I told her that was it. And so she's worked hard. And I tell you that story because that's where she's focused on, continuing to grow and develop as a basketball player. And she doesn't feel like she's arrived. And so we're all proud of her. We're proud of all the young ladies that graduated, Sandra Skinner and Alexis Brewer. We're proud of Whitney Creech. We're proud of all of them. And they're all supportive and checking on these young ladies that are here and encouraging them as well.
Coach, one more thought here for you. This is Nick again. So there will definitely be less people in the stands this year, and it's going to be a difference when it comes to the atmosphere. So, do you think that's going to take some adjustment for you guys when the games do start happening like at home? Because it's going to be a different, like I said, it's going to be completely new to you guys. So how do you think you're going to want to approach that with the players? It may, prove to be well for them to not have as many people there. I'm not sure. Just what do you think?
Well, it may prove to be well when we're on the road, Nick, but it's not going to prove to be a good thing when we're playing in Diddle Arena. We've averaged about 2,000, and we've had a great home court advantage in the last since we've been here. And going in year 9, and we've done really well at home. We've got a sign down our hallway you get to see where it shows our home winning percentage, 81%. Well, that's not because we don't have great fans in the stands. That 81% is not because we got great lighting above the basketball goal. That's because we've got people in the fans that are cheering and encouraging these young ladies. And so we're going to miss that. And we're going to miss, even when they're here, we're going to miss the proximity of the fans in relationship to the court. So if they're backed away from the court, that's going to be different for the young ladies and for the men as well. There's a certain energy that you feel. And you know what that feels like in Diddle Arena. So I think the cool thing that the NBA did was they were able to put the virtual fans and they even had the guys that mixed the sound to make it feel like. So when we're watching the game at home, it still feels like it's a regular ball game. We're not going to have all those extras in the background. So it's going to feel like almost a scrimmage or maybe a closed exhibition type game. I think what we have to do is stay focused on getting better each and every day in practice, each and every game, each and every possession. Making sure we're continuing to work hard and work towards a goal. And I think as long as we do that and we don't get caught up in the fact that we do or don't have fans in the stands, at some point we'll give everybody something to really be excited and proud of, and then we will have fans in the stands someday soon. Well, you guys, Jeff, Taryn, I've enjoyed watching you guys on TV and checking out your home decorations in the background. So, yeah.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I check you out, and I about half the time I get to listen to what you're saying. Even if I'm trying to, I got kids in the background or something going crazy. So sometimes I can just see like, yeah, you need to do a little house cleaning back there. So I appreciate you guys. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Coach.
Welcome to come to practice anytime. Make sure you bring your mask, but really just get with Lily Ann, and we'd love to have you anytime and see the girls play. And they're working hard.
Absolutely. You got a
Yeah.
deal, Coach. Thank you so much.
Definitely plan
Appreciate you
on being
guys. Thank you all. Anything else? All right.
All good, Coach. Thank you.
Little Ann's over here telling me to wrap it up. She's doing this to me. So I'm telling her to get down and play defense.
Thank you,
you, guys.